welcome in, guys. MTG Game State. It's your boy Smoke Packs. Got new information coming up for next month of February. This is January 24th, 2025. But we are going to be talking about February 14th and February 7th, 2025 for AETHERDRIFT and what to collect, what to know, all the good shit. So follow me. I'll take your hand and you're going to join me and I'll give you all the information. All right, I can't do cold opens, but hey, we tried our best there. And we don't need to go full screen. So real quick, I watched on Tuesday, last Tuesday of this week. Today is the 24th, so earlier this Tuesday, I had watched the Magic the Gathering co-streamed, I should say, the AETHERDRIFT reveal over on the Twitch channel for Magic the Gathering, and just getting some information from Mero and some of the design team there. And they had mentioned that they updated the Collecting AETHERDRIFT article, which I believe we had gone over in the past. So much has gone by, guys. I always forget. Let me know in the comments. But real quick, we're just gonna, since we talked about this before, I just wanted to just say they're gonna be having, we've talked about this, the AetherSpark serialized cards. This time they revealed the AetherSpark. It's a sick artifact. It's a Planeswalker as well, the first artifact Planeswalker equipment. Because Karn is technically an artifact, but first equipment, I believe, that's just that whole type line is very fat, is what they're saying. And it turns your creatures, when it's equipped to, so I'll just read the type line. As long as the AetherSpark is attached to a creature, the AetherSpark can't be attacked and has, when equipped creature deals combat damage to during your turn, put that many loyalty counters on the AetherSpark. Cannot read that tiny text. I need glasses. So it gives you 4 loyalty out the gate on your creature. Do a +1, attach the AetherSpark to up to 1 target creature you control. Put a +1 counter on that creature. So you get to pass around the AetherSpark to creatures. Hit the -5, draw 2 cards. Pretty good. Or you can hit the -10, add 10 mana of any one color. So this is going to be weird. We're going to see this in standard. Who knows what's going to happen from there and all the other formats. Commander's going to love this, and it's just goofy and silly. So. Another thing we're going to be looking out to collect now, the first place foil Dazzle cards. I think it's just first place foils, but I kind of was reading the whole thing. Basically, it's just these whole yellow, shiny, the pictures do not do them justice, but the actual reality is it's going to be a nice little shiny gold foil first place card right there. And the box topper for the box set of this set, it's going to have box toppers, and they're going to be full art lands in this type of style. Or I think they're going to be foil. Correct me if I'm wrong later in the comments, guys. The editor will let me know. Nope, see, there it is. It's available in the box toppers as well. Cool. So, there you go. They highlighted that on the video for the Magic stuff, so we already kind of saw that. What they didn't really talk about, and what I really wanted to talk about, everyone kind of loves these, the anime showcase frames. Coming back for AETHERDRIFT. Loving what they're doing for loot, and if anyone doesn't know, you don't need to know Magic cards, but the set theme for this set of Magic cards is going to be based around like wacky races, death race. Yoda Master had mentioned when we watched the trailer last Tuesday, Twisted Metal. I thought all were kind of valid. Probably that's where a lot of the inspiration is coming from anyway. So real quick, I didn't even get to look at Loot, the Pathfinder, for this. He's a Fomori creature. He's a baby Fomori, and we've talked about it previously on MTG Game State. Look into the playlists. I'm not going to tell you again. There's a 5-drop, 3 of is a Temur, so that's red, blue, green, and then 2 generic. Beast Noble, legendary creature, double strike, vigilance, haste for 2/4 body. You could exhaust. I forget what exhaust is off the top of my head, but it is a new mechanic in this set. Pay green, add 3 mana of any one color, or you could exhaust, pay blue, tap, draw 3 cards, or you could exhaust, pay red, tap, loot deals 3 damage to any target. This card's going to be really funny, and it looks like the showcase anime fractured foils are in this set as well. I love the fractured foil coming back. That's actually going to go harder than even just the regular based anime, so you could look for these in collector boosters in the Finish Line bundle and in the MTG arena card style for just the basic anime, which is pretty cool. And then last but not least, special guest crafted by the Secret Lair team. Guess I cannot read it all together. Doesn't matter if I need glasses. What I just was really hyped about is basically Chromox is being reprinted as a special guest. Modern's gonna go hype. That's all we really need to know. The rest of the article is kind of we've already talked about in the past, but I just wanted to kind of just briefly retouch and see what they updated this and what they're showing us for this article. Okay. All right. Now moving on, where and how to play AETHERDRIFT, guys. So if you don't play Magic cards, you don't know where to go to play Magic cards. The best place, the only place in my opinion, is going to be your local game store. If you don't got friends who are going to indoctrinate you into this lifestyle. Your comic book store, the local game store. If you just type in your search engine, card store near me, comic book store near me. Before you go, maybe give a phone call. I'd say and just say like, hey, do you do Magic cards? Do you do events? I'm new. And then go in the store and then be like, hey, I gave a call. And then you're gonna, it's a very friendly environment is what I'm trying to get. So you'll be engaged and shown where to sit and where to be at the events. Okay. So what I want to talk about though, real quick, it's not really necessarily where to play besides your local game store or Wizards in-network store. I wanted to just talk about some in-store events that are going to be really cool. So Magic Academy is going to be returning to play, and it's going to have deck building. It will be returning on February 14th to April 3rd. So Magic Academy is a weekly league at your local game store, your WPN in-network Wizards of the Coast affiliated store, okay? And basically, it's this is going to be a place where you get to go and learn Magic. You're going to have a standard 60-card deck in the standard format. Even if it's crappy, whatever, fine. You're going to come here and you're going to learn how to play it. So events are tailored for players who are just starting to play. You'll receive a learn-to-play brochure that breaks down the basics of the game, along with a reference card with all essential details. Over the course of the event, you'll learn through playing casual games of Magic with beginner-friendly cards, all with some helpful Magic experts ready to assist you. So events are the next step in your Magic journey. At the start of the event, you'll watch a video from Magic designer Gavin Bearhead about the basics of building a 40-card deck. Then from the contents of your play boosters, you'll build a deck of your own, and then you'll just go head-to-head. So I guess I kind of misspoke on standard. It's going to be pretty sick. It looks like you're going to get a little nice, cool Pinfinity pin. So contact your local game store for more details about some promos about that. So players who participate in 2 or more AETHERDRIFT pre-release events, will get the Pinfinity AR. A little weird with the article there. So I just wanted to highlight that if you're new to Magic and you do want to play, even if you're not going to be around at the AETHERDRIFT set, I'm pretty sure they're going to be doing more of these local game store leagues. So it's Magic Academy, February 14th to April 3rd. Weekly league. Get in it, get in it. Another thing we wanted to talk about, we've talked about these kind of briefly on some spoilers. The Cowboy Bebop crossover cards that are in paper. So this is from the Standard Showdown series, is where you get these cards. Returning again, it will be February 14th to April 3rd, 2025. What is that? Standard Showdown returns with AETHERDRIFT and lets you show off your skills in this vibrant format. You'll face off against your fellow players in standard constructed with cards from Dominaria United through AETHERDRIFT. These are a bit more competitive than a pre-release, so be prepared to give it your all for a chance at cool promos like this. Basically, they're saying people are going to be going hard and for the throat for the Cowboy Bebop promo. Buy a single if you want to, but if you want to really support your local game store, get in the action, it'll probably be your best bet to get it. And then there's just some more AETHERDRIFT Standard Showdown season. You'll have a in-store card promo of Shark Pirate. That's pretty cool. All right, last article, and then we'll get into the finance, meat and potatoes of this segment. So kind of, again, what is Standard Showdown? So this is back in Magic Foundations, but it's just going to be a constructed league where you get to show up at your WPN retail store and just kind of go and fight one another. This is just kind of another article I had up just to remind myself really to show off the cards. But they've been doing this for a while, and if you missed out, you kind of missed out on some of the other Cowboy Bebop prints. So if you join up during the February league, you're going to be competing for the Lightning Strike. But there are other ones. Look for them. All right, now into the finance segment of the show, my favorite. And why I want to talk about this is because the first card on the list is a card I actually own. Sword of Kaldra. This is an equipment card, and it's in a whole series where you need a Sword of Kaldra, a Shield of Kaldra, and a Helm of Kaldra, and then they combine to make a crazy invincible creature that exiles shit and it tries to touch you and your creatures. So Sword of Kaldra is 4-drop, legendary artifact equipment from Mirrodin set, old as F. Equipped creature gets +5/+5. Whenever a equipped creature deals combat damage, exile that creature. Sorry, whenever a equipped creature deals damage to a creature, exile that creature. So it's not even necessarily in combat. If it pings the creature somehow, exile it. Then you equip for 4. And it's pretty nice. It's just in a whole cycle. I wanted to bring up just the base version, just because I'm seeing average listing on TCG Player. Market's buying at $13. Average listing is going up to $19. So market's buying low this time, but people are actually listing pretty high on this. And this card's always been on my radar for a while, ever since like maybe 2018, 2019, back when it was really cheaper. And why I think it's just going up to Commander, people are realizing it's good, Voltron. There is an old school pre-release version of this set that is commands, in my opinion, very high price. I feel like $23 for this might not even be the true price. But we'll just click it and see and go to TCG Player, see what they got. So that's kind of ridiculous because the promos I thought were at least a little bit more expensive. We usually don't go over foils just because the pricing's a bit tough to hit on more premium stuff. Let's see if we can get that for 10 or $12 light played, heavy played. Probably the fodder people had after finishing their buyouts and playing with their cards. Yeah, right around this time is when I remember seeing a spike in the promos. But I just wanted to highlight it briefly real quick. It is a card I own in my collection personally. So when I see cards that I own in my collection go up, just financially, even if I'm not interested in selling them, just at their base print, that really interests me. So that's card 1. Card number 2, moving on. Follow me. Meddling Mage. This is a weird card. It's kind of been on my radar. Ever since I started playing Magic cards, you kind of notice and gravitate to weird cards. This is a 2-drop white-blue creature wizard card, human. As Meddling Mage enters the battlefield, choose a non-land card name. Spells with the chosen name can't be cast. Already a banger piece in Commander, in my opinion. If you're playing Sheoldred, I'm going to cast Meddling Mage. You can't cast Sheoldred. Thank you. But why we're seeing this, I'm seeing a price increase. As of Monday, January 20th, average listing was $13.51. I'm just trying to grab it right there. Market was buying at $7.88. But now we're seeing average listing on TCG Player go up to $15. Which is pretty nasty, pretty crazy. So we're kind of seeing I feel like the average listing is too high, and that actually people are really going to be buying at $5 on this card. But we are seeing it being used. What I wanted to point out about this card, what I thought was interesting, since it is kind of a penny card, it does have a Judge promo, it does have a double Masters, it is in some premium sets, mystery boosters as well. And when we do point out, guys, when cards are in premium sets, the other cheaper versions tend to tie into the higher versions at some point. But what I really wanted to point out is it's used in a Legacy deck, which is a 60-card old school format. Has been getting popular lately. 4-color control. Pretty interesting. Different types of people are using it. And let's see how many are being used at least. At the very least, is it maybe sideboard piece? Yeah, it looks like it's a sideboard piece as a 1-up. Very interesting. At least in the first deck we're looking at. We're not going to be too far. Do your own research. So again, I just want to sound the alarm on that card. Whenever we see weird, funky art cards or just cards that I've had in my own screenshot collection for over 10 years, I gotta sound the alarm. All right, now again, I guess going more into my collection, cards I own and things I want to sound the alarm on. This is in the realm of funky Magic cards, not necessarily a Magic card in the traditional sense, but from the game day, I think like pre-release of Theros set, the Hero's Path promos. Now, this is from a deck that plays itself. It's probably really only one of the only automatic decks in Magic's history that can play itself. It's called the gameplay mode for Hero's Path, because Hero's Path has 3 different mini modes. One of them, at least the fun one, where you play against a self-playing deck, is Face the Hydra. And these cards kind of honestly pop the fuck off over, in my opinion, pardon my French, but for real, 2020 era, just because people were locked in and they were looking for something to do and wanted to do new game modes for Commander and stuff. I own these, and even I'm surprised at what the price I saw of just $12.50 as average listing, and market's buying at even damn near $10, $9 I should say. just for the Savage Vigor head alone. Some of the heads are cheaper, others are more expensive. Realistically, you could probably get all of them for maybe $2, $3 a pop. Like let's really look. Let's really look into this here. Let's do our due diligence. See, we can pick them up for $3, but that's still expensive. It's not nothing to snuff at because you need at least 40 or 60 of them. In my opinion, when I do a commander, okay, $3, but when I do a commander version of this deck, where commander decks play against the Hydra, I do about like 25, 30. Different Hydra heads in the deck. And again, some Hydra heads command higher prices than others. Just wanted to sound the alarm on that. So, funky card, something I think is fun, and I think we're going to be playing in the MTG Pack Boys Discord. We've been getting into Plane Chase, so I think this would be a good time to bust that out on them. Surprise them and shock them. Alright, now our honorable mention. Again, funky cards, and since I talked about Plane Chase, might as well bring it up. We're just going to pick on one out of the set, and I'm specifically talking about the original Plane Chase. Original Plane Chase, Return to Plane Chase, which is Plane Chase Anthology, and then Nicol Bolas, those three. Not the new Plane Chase cards you get in the Commander pre-built decks. I'm not talking about. Even though those are in there and they are reprints of some of the older stuff, we're all bullshitting playing Plane Chase in the Discord the other day, and people were saying how the individual cards from the old set and Anthology are becoming pretty expensive. And I was like, no way, no way. And I looked them up. Some are $8, some are $9. Average listing on Academy at Teleria West Plane Chase Anthology version is going $8. Market's buying at $7. I think it's just pretty funny. I think it's pretty crazy. So I was like, what? I've owned these forever. Did not know. And if you wanted the OG Plane Chase version, it's going to cost you about $20. We could check on TCG Player for some of these. Now, normally you kind of want to go on like maybe internet groups or like eBay and try to buy these as bundles. I don't know about buying individuals. Kind of seems sketch and weird. Not sketch, but just feel a bit strange for me. But unless you really need it and you just have the Commander, like Doctor Who mini Plane Chase deck, and you want to just add one or two, then fine. Again, 11 or $10 though for these cards is pretty expensive. Similar to like the Hydras, like $3 to $5 on a not magic card that's used in a game mode. Pretty expensive because it all adds up at the end of the day. So that's the finance section of MTG Game State. I guess we can kind of wind off with some of the little other Plane Chase cards I guess I had pulled up. But let me know how you guys felt about this or what you think about some of the more non-magic magic cards that are kind of gaining in price. Do you have any? Do you have any memories? As always, links will be in the description for any of the articles too. We're going to keep it moving with the stream, so.